right, I think we're live. This is super exciting. Just while I get myself all organized for you guys, make sure that we're rolling the way we need to be rolling. How y'all doing? Let me just make sure I've got all the things I need. Let's see if I can see you on the line. Let's see what's going down. Oh, the interwebs are slow. Hopefully it's not too slow for you guys. Well, I can see you, so this is a good news story. Any second now. Hey, Julie. Hi, Holly-Ann. Hey, Mister. Finally, Sunny's back in the spa. This is a good news story for me. I was worried about you this morning, not calling from the spa. All my hopes and dreams are shattered. Yeah. How's everyone feeling? I was looking at some bits and pieces, and one of my team said, hey, you didn't send out the email for day 8. And I'm like, I totally did. I scheduled it and everything, but I forgot to press send. So it was just another moment of me not being perfect, as an example of, just be with where you're at, right? Whatever that looks like. So I have sent that out about an hour ago. So my apologies if you guys have been waiting for that this morning and I didn't get it to you in time. It feels super mean, right? Oh my God, I got pillows everywhere. What the beep. Amazing. Yeah, I would feel invigorated in the spa. That would sound so good. Hey, Kamini, nice to see you. Yeah, so good. Love to know how everyone's feeling after yesterday's planning, scheduling, extravaganza. I know for some people it was fast, and for other people it was like, oh yeah, totally all over this. So let me know your thoughts. By day 10, I want to be caught up with day 10. Yeah, in an ideal world. Hey, Beck, nice to see you here. Amazing. So today we're going to talk about engagement. Is that what we're talking about? Yes, we are. We're talking about engagement and how that all comes together for you, right? Because it's one thing to post and it's another thing to actually have someone looking at it. I think that's really important. Hey, Paula, nice to see you. Hi, Sue. Now you're ready to start. Doesn't matter, start wherever you are, right? That's the most important thing. So I think the whole thing is we can do all this stuff, but if we don't have any eyes on our followers or on the people that we're speaking to, then it can all feel like it's all for nothing, right? So it's really important that you create a bit of structure around how to get more eyes on your posts so that you can actually make sure that you're delivering a message to people who want to see and hear it. And so there's that whole thing. If we want to get more, we've got to give more. By giving more, we need to give people what they want and also let them know that we're seeing them. So organic engagement is super important to the success on social media, and it really should be done every day. And it's everything from liking posts to commenting on photos to replying to direct messages, including story mentions. Anything where someone comments or mentions you is really, really important. So that's why I make a big effort to make sure that I, yeah. Oh, you're not behind. Everything's okay. Don't freak out. Hey, Michelle, nice to see you too. Yeah, don't freak out about where you're at, right? Where you're at is perfect for you. But it's also about just acknowledging that for some people, they've been doing this for a long time. And for other people, it's all new. So wherever you are is perfect that you're here. You're still following. Look, Mum, I won't tell them your age, but my mother is in this group and she's like, oh my God, I didn't know all this stuff. And so wherever you're at, it's okay. And you'll take it in and you may go back again, and that's all right too, right? So wherever you're at is totally fine. Did try later schedule for a Slow Bite Mummy. It's an achievement. Look at you go. That's so cool. I love it. I love it. Amazing. And so the whole idea is about how do we get more eyes on our stuff? So we're delivering great content. You're spending all this time 8 days with my team to work out what to say and how to say it and what's going to work and how's it going to be meaningful. And it's really up to us to make it meaningful. And we make it meaningful by the conversations that we're having, because this is all just opening conversations, right? And so if we're starting a conversation, then we need to follow it up whatever way we can. Now, some people have super big groups, right? Like I know Michelle has a super big group. And so maybe it's not always possible to like and comment on every post within the group. But I would highly recommend, if you're getting to a stage where you have a lot of groups, you have a lot of engagements, maybe try and bring in some guest hosts, right? So maybe bring in a space where you bring someone to say, hey, I'm going to let you host for a week so they can create engagement. And so this is called a very generous passing the buck. But actually what it does is it creates more engagement, because all of a sudden, let's say in this group, I invited one of my amazing mentors and friends to come in and engage with the group, and they were delivering content and they were liking and commenting and all those things. Then there's a different flavor and a different perspective, which I think can add freshness. And I think that's important to understand too. Yes, the group is going to remain open and available. Totally. Why would I? Someone else asked me that too. So I'm like, yeah, no, I would never close it. That's just, well, not never, but certainly not in the short to medium term, like in 2 years' time. I've got a group where I did one of my first trainings, and that was probably 3 years ago, and there's only a few people in it, but it's still there and it sits there just as a resource base. So I probably won't ever close it. So there you go. Perfect. So some ideas. I'd love to know what you guys are doing before I launch into my piece. What are you guys doing engagement wise? I'd love to hear some of your strategies and what's working. I know Sunny and Michelle and some of the other guys, Paula, you guys have some big followings. So it would be cool to hear from you what's working in it from an engagement perspective. I'd love to know. What we do, hang on, I ask you a question, then I don't give you time to answer it. It's super unkind, right? Yeah, so I'll give you time to answer that one too. And so one of the things that I think is super important is to understand when to post. Yeah. Great, actually perfect timing, Sunny. So when are people posting on your page? And if you don't know how to find that, let's just do a quick stalk on the Facebooks. Let me have a look at my page. All right, here we go. I'm going to share my page. So if you go to your Facebook page, right, this is my page here. Can everyone see? Well, I can't see if you can see, but anyway, you get the idea. And if you go to the page, this will bring up my page, my business page, right? And if you go to this more button, remember, generally we like this to be the black bar, which is the Facebook business manager when we're sharing. But just for ease of this, I'm going to go to the insights button. And the insights button will allow me to see what's been happening in the past 7 days. So, I've got, my post reach is down, but my post engagement is up, and, my video views are up and my page views are up. So this is all good news story. But then if I look at the posts, I think it's the post section here, you can see here that this is when people are up, when my fans are online. So you can see how many of my fans are online each day, right? And you can actually see when they're most online. So if I'm working out when to post, I want to be posting on Facebook as a general rule of thumb between 3 and 6. That works for me. Maybe even 7. No, what's that, 8? Yep. But I'd say between 3 and 6 is my sweet spot, right? I wouldn't be wanting to be posting at 3 a.m., but that's my sweet spot. So go and have a look in the post sections. You'll see what days are better. They're all the same. Like Sunday's a good day. Do you know what? They are all the same. There's no better in there, but definitely between 3 and 6, you can see there's definitely a little bit more going on in there. So that's always a good way to check to see when people are online. You can see the different things like post types, what are they doing, the average reach of my videos, a status post, a photo, a shared video, and a link. What does that look like, right? And then you can also, just while I'm here, you can have a look at all the different posts that I've posted, right? But in here, if you click this little square, you can see the engagement rate. So in this piece where the engagement rate is, it tells you what your engagement rate looks like. So this is really interesting to know. The average engagement rate for Facebook is less than 1%. So these like 0%ers, I could ask it to give me like whatever, but less than 1% is actually considered average. 0.5 to 1% is average. Anything above 1% is considered good in Facebook, right? So that we're getting 2, 7, 4, 4, 1, 6, 2, whatever, 4%. This is considered good in Facebook land, right? So yeah, less than 0.5% is considered quite poor in Facebook. So I always look at, yep, we look at the clicks, the posts, the share, that's fine. It's a number which we like to look at, but always just check the engagement, because numbers for numbers' sake isn't going to tell you what's going on, but understanding the engagement rate of the post is super cool, right? So this is where you get to see whether what you're doing is actually making sense and what people are liking and commenting on. So that's a really interesting piece of data for you guys. Let me just go back and see what's going on. Let's see. Okay, cool. You guys are awesome. So, and with Instagram, does anyone have any idea of what above 1% is great engagement? Memory jogger, yeah. Has anyone got any idea? Yeah, Instagram, above 1%. Actually, on Instagram, so below 1% is considered low. Between 1 and 3% is considered average. 3.5 to 6% is considered high, and over 6% is considered like really high, right? So if your Instagram engagement is sitting between 3, when I was speaking to my clients, I always wanted it to sit between 3 and 6%, because that was always on the high side of good, right? So 1 to 3% is average. It's really not very much. So you do all this work to get like 1 to 3%. It's not very much. And the way that you increase that is by obviously reaching out and engaging with other people and getting more eyes on your post. So let's have a look at like what are some really, yeah, above 6% is awesome, perfect. So what are some really cool hacks around how you can get your engagement up? Well, a really simple hack is to make sure that you're commenting and liking and posting with people or engaging with people just after you've scheduled or posted something. So for example, if I'm posting something at 6 p.m, I want to then get into Facebook and Instagram and use that time to engage with people. Now, this is not time to be like scrolling and liking. It's a very strategic time to be in the platform, going to people who are following me or going to people under a particular hashtag. And we're going to talk about hashtags in just a few minutes. But it's a strategic time for me to go in there and be able to engage with people, comment on people. And when you're doing that in real time, what they're going to do is they're going to go and check out your profile at the same time. They'll see your most recent post, and that all helps the algorithm show that post to more people. This is particularly important for Instagram, right? So if you're posting on Instagram, if Instagram's your place, make sure that the next 15 minutes you get in there and you follow some hashtags and you follow some people who are following you, or you look for more people who are in your niche to understand and see if you can drive traffic to your page, right? Because I think that's really, really important. One of the things around Instagram is that there's this great statistic that says that posts with 11, oh, actually that's a whole hashtag thing. So let's go back to engagement. Just make sure that you use this time to engage with people. It's also a great time, once you've released a really compelling piece of content, we use a Facebook group strategy really well. In fact, most of you have come here from, you know, us engaging with you, whether that's through a Facebook group or whether that's through a post, that's through sharing things or connecting with you in different groups, or some people because you've just known me for a long time, but you've seen me post something on Facebook. So yeah, good question around the hashtags. I'm getting to hashtags, I promise. But yes, you can use hashtags. See, I got sidetracked. Let me come back. Using groups as a strategy to be seen as super compelling, right? If you are in groups, again, give yourself a time period. So I would block out, remember we talked yesterday or the day before about blocking out time. And so what you want to do is make sure that you have maybe 15 minutes in the morning or 30 minutes in the morning where you're liking and commenting and engaging in groups. And then if you're posting in the afternoon or whenever you're posting, make sure that you're using your time to engage with followers. So they would be the two strategies that I would implement just to get visibility on what can be seen and what can be shared, right? And how to have that visibility. And it's things like, you know, looking at the different people that you're following, commenting on their posts, commenting on their images, commenting on what they're doing. It's really important that you use words. Use your words, people. I know there's a lot of follow for follow type of pieces going on, and even there are a lot of automatic, even though Instagram doesn't like it, there's still a lot of bots out there. And so it's important that you let people know that you've actually read what they've done and you're not just blindly like dropping emojis in there, especially if you don't speak emojis. I'm going to pull up some of the nanas in the house because I know there's two nanas in the house right now, and sometimes you get your emojis mixed up and that can be disastrous for your feed. So if you don't speak full emoji, be very careful in this space. But I highly recommend that you use words, at least 4 words, like, and I say 4 words because you don't just go, hey babe, awesome babe, whatever that is. Make sure that you actually say something that makes sense and let people know that you have actually read what they've done and that you're registering what they've done and that you appreciate what they've done. And I say this because I had a team member who was working with me and we were doing a lot of engagement for our clients, and he would just speak in emojis, and that doesn't always work, right? So just be super mindful around that. Use more than 4 words. Use your words. Great education piece. Use your words. Holly-Ann, finding your engagement on Instagram. If you're using Later, it will show you. I can pull that up for you now, actually. And show you. Otherwise, there's an algorithm, there's an equation that you can do. I don't know if it does it in your, I don't think it does it in your insights on Instagram. Sorry, I'll just pull up my phone and have a quick look for you. See if we can get that one right for you. Insights. Do you know how to find your insights on Instagram? Oh, my phone doesn't show. So when you're on your Instagram page, if you would go to make sure you have the profile page. Oh my God, see the profile page? Yeah, whatever that looks like. And then the hamburger bar, that's the 3 bars in the top right. Hamburger bar gives you your settings page, right? I'm so terrible at this. And then click on Insights. And the insights will tell you how many people and what the activity is. And I'm fairly sure it does not tell you your engagement, but I'll just double check. It could have changed, but it tells you your location, where people are, the age range, the gender, the followers, what time they're on, all that good stuff. So that's how you check on the Instagrams what that looks like. But Later will also tell you what your engagement rate is. So if you haven't set up if you have set up a Later account, let me just show you what that is. I'm going to share my screen. Actually, I'm going to open it first because it's slower if I do it from a shared screen. So, okay, here's my Later account, right? And if I go to Analytics on the left-hand side of the screen and I open it up, you can go in here, you can see what's going on. Hey, I grew by 1. You can see the post performance here. So if I click on post performance, it will tell you, oh, the past month, it will tell you what the engagement rate is, 1, 2, 3, whatever that is. So it actually tells you. There's a formula, I can't remember it off the top of my head. It's something along the lines of you count the number of comments, likes, by the total amount of followers. I'll send through the algorithm for you. There's something else that I wanted to share with you in here, just while I'm in the Later account, because yesterday when I was posting, I didn't share with you how I put in the hashtags, right? So I'll just double check. Let me just double check before I move on to hashtags. So does anyone else have any questions around the engagement? Yeah, quite often you do need more than 100 people to see it. Yes, it's interesting. Yeah, I have the equation as well. So send it through, please, Sunny. I think that's super helpful. Let me just share with you how I go ahead, and there you guys are trying to keep a track on everything, right? So in here, when I was doing the calendar and when I was doing the scheduling, let's just go ahead and schedule something. I did the rest of the week while I was at it. If I go ahead and schedule a post, just go schedule a post in here, right? Schedule it for whenever, right? When I go ahead and schedule a post, testing just so I know, when I come to add the hashtags, I actually add the hashtags in the first comment. Now, I do this because you don't want the post to be filled up with hashtags. You've seen what that looks like. You've got to scroll through the actual post. So you can add the hashtags in the first comment here by clicking the first comment, or you can remove the first comment. So some people who love to do a big long post will continue on their post into the first comment, and that's okay too. For me, I use that to put my hashtags in there. And within here, I go to save captions. And in this saved captions piece, I've actually got lots of different hashtags already saved for different things. So I've got my fitness business, health coaching, branding and marketing. If I'm crediting my Bali photographer, I've got Facebook tags, I've got purpose, personal power, my Brisbane photographer, marketing, blah, blah, blah. So I have all these different hashtag collections already sorted out. We're going to talk about this in a little bit more detail. So then from there, all I will do is put this fitness business hashtag in. The other thing that I think is super cool is make sure that you drop in like a couple of dots or asterisks so that it feeds all the way down and it's just not full of words. So when people see the first comment, it's not this giant hashtag spammy looking thing, because that's not super cool either. So that's a really simple way, and we're going to talk about saving and batching all your hashtags in here. So when you have your quote and you have your post all ready to go, you can then just pick the hashtag that's most appropriate rather than just using the same hashtag all the time. So I'm going to discard that so I don't do anything crazy and stop sharing my screen. If you guys have any questions on that, yeah, do you know who can get an InstaShop? Yep. Looks like you need more. Awesome. I'm glad this is going super well. Amazing. So when we are thinking about hashtags, there's a couple of things. On Instagram, a post that has 11 hashtags or more has 61% more views on it. So that tells you that hashtags are actually being used to grow your content and you're getting more eyes on your feed. Now, Instagram loves you using hashtags, but Facebook, not so much. So Facebook has a limit of 5 hashtags. I've done a whole lot of testing in this space just with my own clients. It really doesn't change how well the posts are being fed out, how discoverable we are when we put hashtags into Instagram. But I figure, you know, if there is a slight difference, it can't hurt to put in there. But I generally say 3 to 5 is a sweet spot on the Facebooks. And with Instagram, you can put in 30 hashtags. So here's the thing with that. Do you put in all 30? Well, Instagram wants to keep you on the platform. So if you have 30, use 30. But do not just add hashtags willy-nilly for the sake of adding hashtags, because it's not going to work for you, right? Just adding more hashtags does not mean that you'll be more discoverable if the hashtags don't connect. So I'd say hashtag with purpose, great. But yeah, perfect. I'm glad you found that, Mister. That's awesome. So hashtags with purpose are super compelling and super great, but hashtags for the sake of having the 30 hashtags is not going to help you, right? So yeah, isn't it exciting to see this? Is such a nerd. Isn't it exciting to see the analytics? Isn't it exciting to see it all come together? Even from the SPA, 61% if you have more than 11 hashtags. That's right. Facebook is right. Yeah, you guys have got this. You got this. You got this. So when thinking about hashtags, because now we know that if you want more Instagram followers, who's using hashtags will help you. But a lot of common mistakes that people make is that when they post hashtags that other people are using, they may not be posting what their ideal customer is searching for. So you need to post hashtags that would attract your ideal customer. You need to think of hashtags as being a search engine. Essentially, that's what it is, right? Hashtags are just a way to find you, right? It's a way for people to search you. It's like Google for Instagram. Google for Instagram. It's just a place where people will search for a particular item, location, or thing. And there are 4 kinds of hashtags, right? There's your location hashtags, there's your search hashtags, there's your industry-specific hashtags. Hang on, where's the 4th one? I can't remember. Where's my brain? So there's your searchable items, location searches, geographic searches, and industry searches. So they're the 4 kind of hashtags, right? So what does that mean? It means that you want to cover all the bases by making sure you have a diversity of hashtags in there. Yeah. All right, Rachel, what do you got? After you post on Insta, do you search your own hashtags to view other? I'm getting there. Good question though. That's super cool. So where did we get to? We've got 30 hashtags on Instagram. You got 3 to 5 hashtags on the Facebook. On stories, up to 10 hashtags. Yep. But it's really important to understand what hashtags will work. So a lot of people think I'm going to follow the big hashtag, but actually that's not going to serve you very well. It's really important to be found, right? Could you share my hashtag sets? I can do better than sharing my hashtag sets because I have some sets of hashtags for different industries. So I will share my industry sets with you. Aha. I know, right? I was waiting for that to be the big reveal, but I'm really rubbish at keeping a secret. So there, I'll go ahead and I've got a bunch of different industry hashtags that I'll share with you guys that are working super well. So selecting a hashtag, there's a couple of things around that. You want to select hashtags that sit between, what is it? Between 100 to actually between 200 and 500,000 tags. So picking the size is keeping them between 200 and 500 tags. The smaller the range is, the more findable your post and your feed will be. The higher the range is, the more you're just going to get lost in the sea of tags, right? So this is a common mistake. People think, I'm going to follow this hashtag because it's got like 3 million followers. But if there's 3 million followers and 3 million people are posting on that hashtag, how findable are you then in that space? So make sure that you pick a space where you can be really findable. If you have, less than 3,000 followers, like I have about 3,000 followers, and I pick a hashtag that has 1 million views, I'm never going to be found by that hashtag. So just be super mindful. The only time that I think you can go higher is when you're doing like hashtags related to, like if you're on holidays and you're doing a geographical tag. I think that can keep the story alive for you. Yeah, stories are amazing. Yeah, they are. So let me see. What else do I want to tell you about the hashtags? Hashtag batching, we've covered that a little bit. There was something really important. I can't remember what it was. Let me look at your comments and see what's going on. Okay, with sharing hashtags to stories, there's a really cool tip that you can use within that, and that is to put in your 10 hashtags, shrink it down into a little bitty thing, pop it into a corner or part of the page, and then pop a GIF over it so people can't see it. So that's a great way to have hashtags on your posts, but without having to look like your whole page is full of hashtags. So that's a really cool way that you can get your hashtags out on your stories. We've already shared how you can get your hashtag out on your posts. Make sure you do the ... thing, which is super cool. That was the thing. Here's my phone. Oh, I lost it. Oh, there you are. My brilliance astounds me sometimes. So when you're searching for hashtags in your phone, if you guys are on the phone now, then you probably won't be able to do this. But if you're not on the phone, you can probably do it with me. I'd like for you to go ahead and just grab your phones and go ahead and search a hashtag that might be something that you think your customer would like. So for example, wedding photography, right? So for Sunny, it could be wedding photography, or for Beck, it could be, what could it be, Beck? seafood, right? Whatever it might be. So go ahead and find a hashtag, something that you want to search. So you go to your search bar in the Instagram, right? Pop it in. I'm going to put branding, right? Branding in my search, and then go to tags. What it's going to tell you is it's going to show you a list. Again, sorry, big fail. It's going to show you a list of all the different tags. So in the top of the search bar, it's it's the third one from the right. Sorry, third one from the left, tags. Then you can go and see all the tags. You can see the tags and the volume of followers for each particular tag. And you can go ahead and you can follow a particular tag, right? So in here, if I look at branding, I can see Branding Inspiration has 142,000 posts. That's a good sweet spot for me. If I go ahead and click that, you see that there's two things. When you look at the page, or see, you've got the grid, and at the top of that, there's two things. There's top and there's recent. The top posts are actually the posts that have the most views, the most interaction. They're obviously the most high performing posts. But then the other button on the right of that, right, is the recent. And that will give you the list of posts in order that they've been posted. So you can go ahead and you can see if there's anything that you want to follow in that. So if you like that hashtag, go ahead and follow the hashtag. It will show you those hashtag suggestions on your feed, which is super cool. But then it's also going to show you just underneath that a selection of other hashtags that could be relevant for you. So in here, it's showing me branding design, We Love Branding. I'm going to click on We Love Branding because it sounds cool. And then I can see here, there's this new hashtag for me to follow. It's got 109,000 tags, which is about right for me. I'm looking at the feed and it looks lovely. I think it looks great. I've looked at the recent posts and yep, they all look great. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to follow that hashtag, and it's going to introduce me to new people, and then it's also going to introduce people to me. So it's a really cool way to start to grow not only your own following, but how you're following other people who are relevant for you in your market. So make sure that you post hashtags that your customer is searching for, because it's a Google search engine. So they could be looking for restaurants, they could be looking for wedding photography, they could be looking for fitness tips, they could be looking for personal trainers, they could be looking for health coaches, they could be looking for relationship coaches, they could be looking for pregnancy photography. Like there's all these things they'll look for and they'll search for it in a hashtag. So come into hashtags with the eyes of your customer. Think about what they're looking for, how do they spend their free time, and what podcasts and things do they listen to? Because if they're listening to particular podcasts or they're following particular brands, there's another way that you can go ahead and find different elements or different hashtags to go ahead and follow, right? Okay, let's see what's going on with you guys. Yeah. So those would be a lot better, right? Yeah, the nomadic lifestyle at 101,000 followers is a lot better for you, because you'll be more visible when you post there, which is definitely what you want. Yeah. Nomad equals 5 million. Yeah, not so great. Who wants to be lost in a sea of 5 million nomads, right? And 5 million posts. And then people post things that are not relevant. Isn't that the most annoying thing when you see someone, you search a particular, maybe it's annoying for me, you search a particular hashtag because you're looking for, I don't know, brand creative, or you're looking for yellow. I'm looking for sunflowers. And I go and click on sunflowers and I get roses. It's not okay. So if you're not putting things out, if you're not hashtagging appropriately, it actually will do the reverse for you. People will be like, oh, why are you doing that? That's not part of the search. It's not connected. And so I think that's really important to understand too. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. You guys are doing so well. So ping me any questions that you might have on the hashtags. Super happy to answer them for you while we're here. And then the other thing is, now that you have your different hashtag searches and you've got your different hashtags, what I would do is I would batch them into your values or into your context pieces, right? So for example, if you are doing, adventure is one of your values, right? And you're going to post on things that are about living an adventurous life, then create a batch of hashtags that you can save either in your notes or in a document or in later or wherever, that are those hashtags that relate to that. If your hashtags are about a product or service like photography and you want to niche down, maybe it's like wedding photography or lifestyle photography, then batch those hashtags according to that, right? So I need you to go ahead and think about your context and your content topics and create a bunch of hashtags for each one. Do you have to do that right now if you're overwhelmed? No. Okay. Just permission to be okay with that. But think about doing that, yeah? You can totally make your own hashtag, Stacey, and it can totally work. The thing with making your own hashtags is you need to build your brand. And so people may or may not search for your hashtag, but if you are planning on growing your brand, for example, Dee, who is my client and also in this group, she has her D is for digital hashtag. It's her own branded hashtag, but she's grown her Instagram feed to like 16,000 people. She's got a YouTube channel with 1 million views. And so like having D is for digital is actually her business name. It's her membership name. It's what she's sharing with the world, and because she's got a substantial following, it's actually a hashtag that makes the most amount of sense. So I'd say definitely make your own hashtag, make it compelling and memorable and relevant to who you are and what you're doing, and then yeah, as you build your brand, you'll build your following for your hashtag. So yes, that's super cool. There's no behind, there's just right now. You're perfectly where you're at right now. So cool. So the idea is create your batches of hashtags, have them ready. I don't have perfect batches. How do you do that? Yeah, I would do that search that I was talking about before, where maybe you would search, Stacey, you might search keto life, or you might search keto, or prove it, or whatever. So find some hashtags around there and then create a bundle of hashtags in there. So I would do that. Just write anything as a hashtag. Low fashion, linen fashion, leather bags. Is that not correct? Yeah, if your product is fashion, right? So yeah, linen fashion, I would write fashion, organic fashion, handbags, anything that someone might search, because people may not search linen fashion, they may search linen. Yes, you need an app to use later on your phone, Deb, that's right. I am a desktop person. This is, I'm sorry, I old school. I want to use my phone more. It irritates me. So I do everything on my desktop because I like to see it all laid out. But you can totally use later on your phone. I just find that I don't have all the visibility of everything that I want to see. And so that's why I use it on the computer more. But I have a lot of clients and a lot of friends that just use their phone for this, and that's totally okay. Just my brain doesn't work that way. Yeah. Yeah, so I would even, what would someone be searching for, Paula, when they're looking for your products? And they're looking for, I don't know, linen boutique or lace, whatever the thing is, and think about your customer and what they're searching for. Rachel wants me to. I want to know. I like it. Perfect. You guys are amazing. Okay, what else have we got in here that we need to think about? So you've got your list of hashtags, you've got your posting schedule, right? You're posting according to when people are on there. You're going to engage around the time that you post to create a little bit more excitement. You're going to use your words, which is so cool. Make sure if you are speaking in emoji, you don't get it wrong. For example, I only got told very recently what some certain emojis meant. I didn't realize that. I was using it, I was sending it, and then I was getting inappropriate messages because I have to be careful. So particularly for the nanas in the house, and I literally mean the nanas, and I know that they're here, that's not you people as a collective, it's like my 2 nanas who are in the house. Be careful with your emojis. Don't talk emoji unless you're fluent, right? Oh, cool. You like to see things on a bigger screen. I got it. Yeah, I just like to see it all laid out. I'm very controlling like that. What else are some key things from today? Make sure that you use multiple kinds of hashtags. So your geographic hashtags versus your industry hashtag versus your location searches. So make sure that you have the different hashtags in space, particularly for someone like you, Mr. because you're traveling so much, right? So having those different geographical tags can certainly be a way to go forward. Melissa. If you're just starting out with no engagement, is there a particular time and day to post for busy women? I would say, as a general rule of thumb, Melissa, you're in Australia, right? Between 4 and 6, between 4 and 7, somewhere like that, I think would be a good one. Yep. I would start there as a general rule of thumb. Yes, it was the vegetable emoji that I got stuck on. Yeah, that's the one I did. You only do it once. Yeah. Nana Sue needs glasses. Sorry, Nana Sue. I'm only trying to look after you. Yeah. Yeah, Australia. All right. So how are you feeling about hashtags right now? We're feeling like we've got some ideas on what to do with it. So enlightening. Ah, you guys are so lovely. Yeah. So let's just break this down into action items because I don't want any more overwhelm. We are saying ixnay to the overwhelm in this group. It's just about progress, not perfection. I'm living proof that I'm not perfect and I keep showing up and just doing the thing and everything's going to be okay, right? So start with, when are you going to post? Try and find out when people are seeing your stuff. You can experiment it, which is sort of cool. Hashtags do look like waffles. Now I'm hungry. So that's important. And then post when people are online. Number 2, make sure you're engaging with people around the time that you post, because that's going to help the algorithm show your post to more people, which is cool. Use hashtags, but use hashtags that are not too big so that you don't drown in a sea of like craziness, right? So about 200 to 500K per hashtag is about right. You can use more than 500K if you're on holiday and it's location based. You can use 10 hashtags on stories, 5 hashtags on Facebook. You can hide them in stories so your story is not covered with hashtags. I love that. Jazz hands. I love it, Rachel. Oh, I'm so glad I'm not the only one, because seriously, my sister and my niece were just giving out to me. Like, I can't believe you didn't know that. It's like, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. But I think jazz hands is way better. I love it. Who knew? Yeah, other people know. So funny. Yeah, no problem at all. So cool. So what have we got? Create hashtag bundles or bunches for you so that you can create, because the algorithm likes you to put fresh stuff out there all the time, right? So if you're just using the same 30 hashtags day in, it's probably not going to be really great for you. The algorithm is very smart, so you've got to be smarter than it. We're human. So make sure that you have a bunch of different or bundles of hashtags saved so you can put the right hashtag with the right post. If you don't have 30, that's okay. Better to be relevant than just be spamming. You thought it was clapping. No, this one's the clapping one. Someone show Julie the clapping hashtag, please. It's a cute one. That's all right. We're working it out as we go along. That's all right, Donna. So cool. What else was I going to with that? Hiding hashtags on your stories. It could be a surprise. It could be a surprise. Okay. All right. You guys are good. So I think the task is step by step with everything. How to join things together, value sheet, pictures, colors, captions, hashtags. I know it's a lot, but I think the content map is the key, right? So when you have your content map, you can start to add things into it. So if you know behind the scenes, this is your context. So you're going to have behind the scenes images, behind the scenes content, behind the scenes hashtags. And that all starts to form the piece of the puzzle. When you have the about, off to Specsavers, Julie, you kill me. That's the clapping one. Good job. The about, the same thing. You're going to have a bunch of hashtags for the about, a bunch of images, a bunch of context pieces, and then you can just start to map it out. I love it. Colors are different. So remember yesterday I was just talking, colors are personal opinion. I like to see a sense of space. I don't love a really busy feed, but I also, it's funny, I was talking to one of my mentors. There's no Angela this morning. Angela, are you here? I was talking to Joey Rochester and Christy before about the checkerboard format. Has everyone seen the checkerboard? You have seen the checkerboard format on Instagram, where people do quote, picture, quote, picture, quote, picture. It kills me. I don't love it. People are doing it. I don't love it. I was doing the checkerboard feed 4 years ago. I'm like, I'm so ahead of my time. I didn't have any followers then, but I still knew about that then. But I think it just feels too, I don't know, manufactured for me, right? Where's the connection? Where's the opportunity to really offer value? So I think I like it when it has this sense of, it tells a story with pictures. How do we put the frames in between the posts? That's white space. And you can put the white space on your images before you upload them to later, or you can put white space in the images once it's posted to Instagram. Yeah, I know this is all the tricks. Again, it's not necessary. I think the white space is actually when you use white posts, I think that can also work. So I really love when I really don't love busy posts altogether. So I like to have that feeling of space. You can just use that with images, selecting images that are not so busy versus, you know, something that's busy. So you can break it up that way, but it still tells a story. I love it. Checkerboard, so boring, so contrived. I'm so with you, Paula, and I keep saying to people, why are you doing this? No one's listening to me. If you guys give me checkerboard things to review, I'm just gonna go and hurt myself. Don't do it. You guys are better than that. It's about, this is your opportunity to tell a story, right? This is your story. This is like your chance just to share who you are. So the checkerboard thing's going to wear off, people. No one's going to be doing it anymore. There's a whole thing where everyone did the one row one way, one row the other way, the other row the other way. It's all right. You guys are going to be fine. Yeah, just do you. And I change stuff all the time. So you can see in my feed, I'm sure you guys have all had a look now. You've had a good stalk. I did a whole bunch. I tend to think in like months, right? So I did a whole month where I did the white border around it. And that was nice. I felt like it broke up my feed a little bit. But now I'm back to doing like no white border. And that's okay. I want to learn this also. What do you want to learn? What are you guys wanting to me too's? Tell me more. I've missed it. Do I use Pic Collage? I have used Pic Collage. I don't use it at the moment. I've also used the grid, what's it called? Grid thingy. Don't you love how specific I am? I've used Photo Grid, where it breaks your photo into like posts, which is sort of cool. I guess I'm missing something. Yeah. Yes, I archive things all the time. Yeah, archive things all the time. Good, I'm glad you can't wait to get started. That's true, Melissa. A lot of feeds differ. Some have hundreds, some have 9. We're putting out several posts a week. How do you keep the page clean? Do you delete some? I just archive them. I like having more than 9 posts or 9 tiles. I actually think it just tells the story of continuity, right? So I would keep more than that. That's just my opinion. But again, check in with how you feel about that, Melissa. Yeah. Yes, I do archive things because I'll see it and I'm like, oh my God, that just doesn't work. I have to get rid of it. And then if I don't have my team, that's like, my team, that's really ugly. What were you doing? It's like, I thought it was nice. Photo grid, so darn cool. And this is the other question. It's like when you do the photo grid and you have the whole photo grid thing going on, do you post them all at once? Everyone is different, right? So you can post 3 at a time or whatever else to keep the photo always looking perfect, or you can just like roll with it. So there's no right or there's no wrong. It's just whatever feels right for you. Perfect. Okay, you guys have got it nailed. Anything else you need from me before we sign off? No? Got it? You got it. So tomorrow, we're going to talk about crafting your Uber bio, your about page, LinkedIn's, and any integration that you might need. So it's the fun stuff, right? So let me know if you have any questions around that. Does it change your status or other if you delete from your feed? No, I don't think so, hun. I think it's the same. I'm not 100% sure, so you may need to check up on me on that one. Perfect. Amazing. Guys, be amazing. I'll add the hashtag lists into the unit for today. Thank you for being amazing. Sunny's off to sit in front of the fire. Good job. Stay connected. Thank you for your time as always. I so appreciate you guys showing up, doing all the things that you're doing to deliver this epic content. I'm just so damn inspired by you every damn day. So thank you. Biggest blessings to you, and we'll see you tomorrow.